Can you tell the quality? Or maybe it's just because I'm hooked up. Is it hooked up to mine? Can you tell the quality?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot less background noise.
Yeah.
Because that was just picking up open door shit.
Open door shit. Open door shit. That sounds gross.
I had a game room set up in my basement when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And the bathroom was right next to the game room. And being in the basement, I was down there by myself. Everybody else was upstairs. So I had a wireless controller. I could sit on the toilet with the door open and play video games from the toilet. And if somebody's coming down the stairs, it was perfect. I could just shut the door.
I'm going to masturbate to that thought.
Yeah, just taking a shit and playing Madden.
Oh, man. God, that's hot. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, on that note, this is the Higher Minds Podcast.
This is the Higher Minds Podcast.
I'm Scott.
I'm Papa Darby.
What's the topic of the day, Darby?
The topic of the day is slightly more nebulous than what I'm going to say, but I'm going to title it Tragic Metal.
Oh. I might have misunderstood this a little bit.
No.
I thought we were talking about, metal.
Like iron and gold and shit?
Specifically, gallium.
Gallium?
Gallium's a fucking interesting element.
Oh. You did you did not understand the topic.
So while we're on gallium...
Yeah, I guess we're talking about fucking gallium now. Okay. Gallium.
It's a solid metal that melts in your palm and basically turns into a mercury-looking metal. It has a very, very low melting point. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I'm just fucking with you. I got real notes here, too. I just wanted to...
Yeah.
Gallium's interesting. So, what do you have?
Fucking metal. Did you Google metal and that's just what fucking came up? Or
no, I just happened to know that about gallium and I wrote it down to remind myself to talk about it.
Brilliant. That was brilliant, Scott. Thank you. So, what the fuck did you just say? You asked me a question?
Yeah, what the fuck do you have?
Oh, I'm going to talk about 3 specific topics. And the 3 specific topics are going to be the West Memphis 3, the satanic panic of the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and a little bit of the 2000s. And then the Altamont Speedway Free Festival, where somebody was stabbed to death, and Hell's Angels caused chaos, and it was party ensued.
Satanic Panic would be a hell of a name for a metal festival.
They do.
Oh shit!
I googled Satanic Panic, trying to just find information about it, and yeah, there's a couple bands, there's a couple things named Satanic Panic. There's festivals.
Have you ever been to a metal festival?
Festival? I can't say. No, not a festival. I've been to tons of metal concerts.
Yeah. I've done 2 Ozfests and, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 Mayhem Fests.
Yeah.
And it's just a sunburn surrounded by armpit with really good music.
I've seen Metallica several times.
I'd love to see Metallica.
Fun
fact, Metallica was the very first band to play a show on all 7 continents.
You know what? I think when it happened, I think they played on Antarctica, and then that's when it happened.
Yep.
When did that happen?
That was 2012-ish, give or take, maybe. I might have it written down here.
So the Penguins got a show. I wonder how much tickets that were.
I can't imagine a whole lot of people traveled to go there.
No.
I may not have notes on that. I thought I did.
No. Well, Metallica, thank you, I guess, for putting on a show that was either super expensive or free, and at great cost to yourselves. I don't know which is true.
Nope, no notes on that.
So, but you know what? Before we start talking about this shit, what we're going to do is get stoned. Because that's what we do on the show.
More stoned.
Stoneder.
Stoneder.
Stonerist.
Yes.
Yes. And we are going to get stoned on this weed of the week, which is...
weed of the week is Snow Dog. Sativa.
Snow Dog.
15.83 to 19.2% THC.
Now that's Snow Dog. SNOW space DOG.
No space and DAWG.
Oh, that's awesome. It makes it a little cooler. It puts some stank on it. Snow Dog. Yeah.
You're the whitest black dude ever sometimes.
Oh, damn, I am. I'm going to have to replay that. Yeah. That's okay, though. Metallica! Woo!
Go ahead and start it off with the Memphis 3.
Memphis 3.
That's not the same that played with Johnny Cash, right?
The West Memphis 3. No, these... No.
Oh, no. That was the Tennessee 2. And then later the Tennessee 3.
I know nothing about that.
Johnny Cash is the shit.
I will agree with that. 100%. So anyway, if you don't know about the West Memphis 3, it's a tragic story about 3 young men. Well, it's actually the tragic story of 3 young men and more tragically, 3 young boys. I'm not going to describe.
Is this a
crime.
rapey kind of story?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not going to describe the crime itself. I'm going to tell you that there was a crime, and because of the way that the boys were found, it was considered or thought to be a satanic ritual. So anyway,
so they were killed then too. If they were
murdered the fuck up.
Okay, so it's not just rapey.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's totally desecrated. Totally just. If you want to Google it. We don't need to discuss it here. There's plenty of podcasts that fucking talk about it. And I'll tell you about it afterwards or something. But
I don't think I've ever heard of this, so I might have to look into it.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about it.
Okay.
I'm not going to describe the crime. Is what I'm saying. But these were the 3 teenagers who were named as. Or who were charged with the crime. Damien Eccles, who was sentenced to death. Jesse Miss Kelly Jr., who was sentenced to life in prison plus 2 20-year sentences. And Jason Baldwin, who was sentenced to life. They were accused of torturing and killing 3 8-year-old boys whose actual killer has never been found. In fact, after these kids were convicted, there was no subsequent investigation at all. So they considered the case closed, and it's clearly there's a problem there.
Why did the one guy get such a shorter sentence than the other 2?
Well,
one dude got life, one dude got life plus, and the other dude got death.
That's a good question. I didn't. There is a reason. I think one was more considered the aggressor.
Well, I assume the death one was the leader of the pack
and did the actual killing.
Yeah.
I think the other 2 just kind of covered it up. Yeah, I didn't really get into that. There's anyway, yeah.
I'll look into it later.
So the 3 teens who were convicted were released after serving more than 18 years of their sentences, despite the prosecution not having any evidence of any kind against these boys, physical or circumstantial. There was absolutely no evidence.
How did they get convicted in the first place?
It was a satanic panic. They were totally scared of the devil ruining their community, and these boys were they were known around town to be kind of punky and kind of sullen, and they were just metal kids. Is really what they were. They wore
the black shirts and trench coats or whatever.
Yeah, that shit. I mean, they were just. I mean, I was that kid. Kind of. No, I wasn't really that kid, but I was friends with some of those kids. I'm sure you were that kid.
Yeah, I hung out with those kids.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them. Just they like metal and dark clothes. Yeah. I know a lot of successful ones now. You know, some of my more brilliant friends are those kids.
Really?
Yeah. There's brilliant people in every group, but
I must have been that one.
I would say you're brilliant.
Because I'm thinking back to the people I hung out with in high school, and there's some of them that are successful, but not like successful. Like they've worked their way to the top, but like
there's definitely degrees of success.
Yeah.
I'm saying they're not wanting for work. They're not hungry. They have a family and they're doing just fine.
Yeah.
They're probably. I'm sure everybody's unhappy in their marriage. I just assume, except for H and K. They seem super happy.
So just because you had a shitty marriage, everybody else has to too?
I can't see how it's not. It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Anyway.
But other than their fucking marriage, they're doing just fine. Yeah. Anyway, but these, they were released after signing an Alford plea. Let me tell you what the fucking Alford plea is. It's also called a Kennedy plea, which is a guilty plea in a criminal court whereby a defendant in a criminal case does not admit to the criminal act and asserts innocence. They say that they're fucking innocent. But in entering an Alford plea, the defendant admits that the evidence presented by the prosecution would be likely to persuade a judge or jury to find the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So they're basically saying, yeah, I'm guilty. Or, no, I'm not guilty at all, but you can find me guilty, and so fuck me.
Yeah.
And the states say...
Yeah, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right. And they were saying that if you sign this and give us no... The state was saying this to them. That if you sign this and do not retaliate, don't assign any blame to us, you get out today. And that's what they... After 18 years, they said, okay, I'll get out today, and so I'll sign this. But they are due so much from the state. Just morally.
And what year did this take place?
Okay.
I don't know if you said or if...
No, I didn't say, and I meant to put that down. Let me look that up real quick. 1993 was the murders, and the teens were convicted in 1994.
And when were they released? 18 plus 94. 2012.
Okay, 2012. They were released in 2012. So, 7 years ago. They were released 7 years ago. Anyway, their convictions seemingly relied entirely on the satanic panic of the 80s. The cops and public immediately assumed that these were part of that the crime was part of a satanic ritual, due to the way that the boys were found, which I'm not going to describe. They were bound and tortured, and that's all I'm going to say. These boys were listed. The only thing that they had is that these boys listened to heavy metal and wore pentagrams on their shirts and just, dark, solid kids. That's it. Well, I will add that I believe it was Damien Eccles who, throughout the trial, knew that he was innocent and relied on the justice system and completely believed that the justice system would find him innocent because he was innocent, and it didn't occur to him that he could be found guilty. Thus, he kind of didn't take the trial seriously, which was perceived by the jury as having no remorse. That also didn't help. But that's it.
That'll teach you to trust government.
Yeah. They're not here to help you. They're here to profit from you.
Mm-hmm. So it's similar to the Columbine kids then. They had the metal shirts on and...
Well, except for these kids weren't actually killers.
Right.
But unfortunately, they did look the same.
They linked it to to heavy metal.
They did.
Marilyn Manson specifically.
Yeah, and it's not. I just want to say it's not heavy metal. There's psychological evidence that there's no actual connection between violence, heavy metal, violence, video games, or that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
There's no connection.
No, you can connect dots if you look hard enough, but there's no. Just because.
There's plenty of people who
correlation does not equate causation.
Yes, but there's not even a correlation. There's not correlation or causation in the studies.
Oh, I'm just talking about people looking at shit.
Oh yeah, yes, that's true.
Yeah,
like whenever they sell more popsicles, the amount of shark attacks increases. That's a correlation, but not causation.
Right. Just happens to be more fucking people at the beach.
Yeah. But there's no correlation or causation between heavy metal and violence.
Right.
There's plenty of kids who listen to heavy metal that don't end up being killers.
Yeah.
These kids were just fucking sick.
That's just any genre. Rap gets blamed for shit too.
That's true. And you know what? Shit was blamed back in the... Shit has always been blamed for violence. That's just never been true.
Oh, yeah. Back to fucking Elvis.
Yeah.
You ever hear what Marilyn Manson said about the Columbine shooting? You ever watch Bowling for Columbine?
I did, actually, a long time ago. I don't remember. And I'm sure you've heard the quote, but for those of us who haven't heard it...
Michael Moore sat down with him and did an interview with him and asked him about the Columbine shooters and how he kind of got blamed for that because they had Marilyn Manson t-shirts or some shit. And asked him what he would have said if he had the opportunity to talk to these kids. And I'm paraphrasing, but he said something along the lines of, I wouldn't have said anything. I'd have sat down and listened to what they had to say, which nobody else did.
Is that... Okay. I don't know. But... Yeah.
Yeah, obviously these kids
wise.
had some kind of an issue.
Yeah, clearly.
Maybe if they had sat down with somebody and voiced that issue.
Didn't the kids themselves, though, go to lengths to hide their issues? Because afterwards, they found that, yeah, these kids, there were signs, but they went to lengths to hide it.
Did they? I've honestly never read into the Columbine thing that much.
No.
I was in grade school when that happened. I remember the day after it happened, my mom dropped me off for school. I was in probably second grade, maybe. And I distinctly remember that she reached over and gave me a hug and everything before I got out of the car. Which was weird because normally it was just drop me off, have a nice day, I'll see you this afternoon.
Yeah, I was almost 20 when it happened.
God, you're old.
But I remember very well. This is the first memorable mass school shooting in my lifetime.
That might have been the first school shooting.
No. It's not. It's happened many times before, but not as frequently as it's happening now.
Right. What the fuck are we talking? Oh yeah, Marilyn Manson in this quote.
You know what? In the culture, it's for some reason it's occurring to me that in the culture, it's mass shootings are more prevalent because it's more prevalent. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more that they're reported on, the more that they're inspiring other people to do it. Mm-hmm. And there's plenty of sick people in the world that wants to do it. They're a very, very small minority, but there's enough of them out there that it seems like they're everywhere, which they kind of are.
That was that, what was that, New Zealand that had the shooting a little while back? I don't agree with censorship at all, but I liked that I don't like that they are putting people in prison for it, but I like that they didn't want people sharing the video and the guy's name and photos and all that kind of shit. Whereas the American media, they just wait for shit like that to happen and they jump on it as soon as they can.
I eat it up. I mean, I have to admit that I want to know when it happens. I want to know all about it.
See, and it sounds cold, but I hear it and I'm like, okay, it's not my kids, it's not... I don't worry about things that don't directly affect me very often. It
could directly affect me. I do have kids.
Yeah.
And so it's very unlikely that it will affect me. The statistics are such that it doesn't happen. It's not as unlikely to win the lottery, but actually I think it's probably as unlikely to win the lottery or some shit. I don't know. But it's... I don't know if this statistics...
Even but it happens every couple months, it seems like. But statistically, it's still a very, very low
There's tens chance. Of millions of kids going to...
Thousands of schools. Yeah.
It's unlikely that it'll happen in yours.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it concerns me.
It does happen occasionally, and it's terrible when it does, but there's no sense in worrying about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't not worry about it. I can't help but worry about it. I can't bring myself to not.
See, and I'm more of the belief that when it's your time to go, it's your time to go.
It's not for me. It's for my kids, you know?
Yeah. So, no, but then again, when it's their time, it's their time.
Yeah, it's out of your control. To me, though. I don't think that. Still make me
I'm not a dad. It might... I'm sure it's completely different for you being a dad, but...
Yeah. Well, no, and I do understand from what you're saying. It's just... I understand that logically, but it doesn't mean anything to me at all, though.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, Speaking about the Satanic Panic, for which Marilyn Manson kind of was a response to Antichrist Superstar, Long Road Out of Hell.
That was a great book. Did you ever read that book?
No.
No? It's his autobiography with help. I don't know how much of it he actually wrote himself. Whenever there's that this person co-written by, I assume that co-written by did most of the work.
Brian, right?
Huh?
His name is Brian?
Brian Hugh Warner.
I'm sure Brian has the capability.
From Canton, Ohio.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. He's capable of writing book, I'm sure, but if he has
like
that much...
He's written all those songs and shit. Like, he's obviously... Well, he was a magazine writer, journalist.
Yeah,
before
so he's
he was a
obviously
musician,
capable,
too.
But why would he go to the trouble? Why didn't he just tell somebody shit?
Right.
That's what I would do.
I would just talk into a tape recorder and hand it off. Make this into a book.
Or just have some dude follow you around for a month or two.
Yeah.
And you'll get... If you're sitting there talking about yourself, I'm sure he'll get plenty of material.
I think he's a rock star. Like, I assume they're all a little... I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
Egocentric?
Boastful? Yeah. Egocentric? Yeah.
Anybody you've ever heard of is egocentric. We're doing this a little bit because of ego. I am, at least. I want to be heard. I don't know.
I like getting stoned and talking about shit, and recording it is just
I love the research. That's what it is for me. I like recording. I want people to hear it. I don't know. If anybody puts anything out publicly, I can't say it's anything but because of ego.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we want people to listen to us, at the very least. Like, we want people to listen to us. We want people to get stoned and sit back by themselves, listen to our two dumbasses, and fucking sitting there shaking their head agreeing with us, or, you dumbass, it's this movie, not that movie, or whatever.
Emailing it at higherminds.com or highmindspodcast@gmail.com for your comments.
That was so easy for you to say.
Was that an obvious plug? Could you tell that I said that right there?
Said what?
Highermindspodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, what was the first part you said?
The Higher Minds Podcast at Gmail.
Oh, they should have a website.
HigherMindsPodcast.com.
Oh, okay.
I did say that one, I think. That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, but I actually meant HigherMindsPodcast@gmail.com. Very nice. I like it. Can I have the lighter, please?
You may.
I'll take a look at the ball. So, to explain what the Satanic Panic was, I've taken some notes. I'm going to read you the notes now.
Please do.
So, in sociology, Satanic Panic is a phenomenon characterized by widespread fear about the presence of satanic ritual abuse in one's community, state, or country. Think The Burbs.
Okay.
Tom Hanks. I think it was more of a response to the Satanic Panic and kind of making fun of the absurdity of it. But at the end, he was right. So, I don't know. Do you remember?
I don't know if I've ever seen The Burbs.
Spoiler alert. No?
You said it's Tom Hanks?
Really?
I've seen a shit ton of Tom Hanks movies, but I can't think of that one.
We're fucking watching that after this.
I'm down to watch a Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah.
I've never seen a bad Tom Hanks movie.
No, it's one of his best. It's from the early 90s or late 80s or something. What's her name? Leia. Carrie Fisher's in it. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Carrie Fisher's in it. She's his wife.
For the longest time, the only thing I'd ever seen her in, other than Star Wars, was Blues Brothers.
Oh, yeah, she was in that. She was in When Harry Met Sally, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Anything else, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so we're going to watch that. The recent phenomena of Satanic Panic originated during the 1970s. The recent is relative. 1970s and gained traction during the 1980s and 90s when a widespread belief took hold within American evangelical Christianity that a vast network of underground Satanists is in control of secular society. Satanic Panic seems to have disappeared entirely into 2000s, thus, Marilyn Manson and shit. Perhaps because fundamentalists now have other things to panic about.
Is there a modern Marilyn Manson? Is there a rock star that's pissing everybody off right now?
Eminem.
Because he's not a rocker. He's a rapper.
No.
And I think Eminem's kind of
both artists, though.
past his prime, too. He's still great, but he's not pissing people off like
But
he
he was
used to.
after Marilyn Manson. He was about a decade and a half after.
No, he came around a couple years after him. Manson started in 93-ish.
Oh, yeah. Eminem was late 90s, early 2000s. I remember.
No, I was in elementary school. He had to be...
No, my name is came out
98-ish?
when I was a sophomore. Or no, when I was a junior.
God, you're old.
Yeah, 98. It's actually when I was a junior.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Manson came out 93-ish. I think they got big 96-ish.
Evangelicals and the police and prosecutors thought that Satan worshippers were characterized by the following. They thought that there were families of devil worshippers and that they were multi-generational. Teenagers were enticed to join satanic cults. They did human sacrifices. Disappearing pets around the neighborhood were used for animal sacrifices. There was ritual child abuse. Satanist networks are part of a broader conspiracy, such as the Illuminati. Wiccans and other neo-pagans are satanic in nature. Wiccan symbols such as the pentacle are signs of satanic activity. Some Christian books on Satanism and materials provided by law enforcement, or to law enforcement, included the peace symbol and the anarchy symbol in their list of Satan symbols to watch out for. But they didn't consider the American flag, which has how many pentagrams does it have? Or pentacles does it have?
50?
Yeah, there's 50 of them, right?
They're not, because they're solid, I don't think they count. And they're right side up.
That doesn't matter at all.
Oh, really?
No, they were still looking for that sign out in, like, the urban areas.
Is that a big thing in the black community? Satan worshipping?
No.
I wouldn't think so.
The black community is mostly Christian.
Yeah.
Like the American black community is mostly Christian.
Right.
Yeah.
Just the way you said that, it made me think that they were going through the hood or whatever, looking for pentagrams and shit.
They were. They were looking for it everywhere, and the hood was the police always hit the hood harder than anywhere else for any reason, for whatever. So, yeah, they were caught up in it too.
Okay.
Well, some parts of popular culture were functioning as recruiting tools for Satanism, such as heavy metal and Dungeons and Dragons. So, Halloween and things like that were Satanistic. The Satanists were infiltrating the military, and atheists are really Satanists. So,
and this is how they were defining what they were looking for.
Yeah, they had a list of these. Law enforcement had a list of these things, and like church leaders and community leaders had this list or a list like it, and were going out around and persecuting people like this. There are other cases that I didn't look into, but there's plenty of cases, and there were murders and stuff, particularly in the black community, that were linked to Satanism that were just bullshit.
Yeah. I don't know how I've never
read
about any of this.
I mean, there are Satanists, but if you know anything about Satanism is, whereas it's anti-Christianity, it's all basically hedonism.
There's a difference between Satanism and devil worship, too. I don't think a lot of people make that distinction.
I'm not making that distinction.
Okay.
What I'm getting to is they're not about hurting others. They're not. That's
right.
They also believe in karmic energy. Mm-hmm. And if you do bad things will happen to you, which is a tenet in every single religion.
Pretty much, yeah.
But so it's not different than that. They just are more open with what they want.
So with the devil worshipping witch hunt that they were on, that kind of leads into something that I had notes on here with the PMRC in the 80s.
What's a PMRC?
Parents Music Resource Center.
What the fuck was that?
It was a group of congressmen and women's spouses that were on a witch hunt to censor music sold in stores, similar to how they censor music on the radio.
Kind of like modern book burning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dee Snider from Twisted Sister.
I like that guy.
He's an interesting dude.
Side story, I actually, I had a boss, and his real fucking last name, spelled how it sounds, was Pfister.
Okay.
He went as Dee Snider to a holiday party, and this is a dumbass story about me. At work, he said, he showed pictures to everybody at work, and it's an office environment, everybody's professional, and he's saying, yeah, so I went as Twisted Pfister. And I said, and that means something other than what it sounds like. And everybody just kind of looked at me and just slipped away. Oh, I say shit all the fucking time. That's fucking hilarious. But you can't say that at work.
So, Dee Snider from Twisted Sister.
Yes, he's a cool guy.
I want to paint a picture to you, because he walked into Congress to talk to them.
Picture.
Congress. Everybody's in suits. Pantsuits, women skirt thing. They're dressed nice, right?
Okay.
Dee Snider walks in to give a speech in front of the PMRC when they were making a ruling on censoring shit, right? Skin tight blue jeans, cut off t-shirt,
yeah,
denim jacket with the sleeves cut off,
yeah,
and Dee Snider here out to fucking here, all in his face and everything, right?
I love it.
Fucking as metal as it gets for the 80s.
Did he have this makeup?
He didn't have the makeup on.
Okay. Well, I guess that.
There's video of him speaking and everything, and his hair is in his face like the sheepdog from the cartoons the entire time.
Oh, they would have tackled him at the door today.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
with facial recognition and shit.
Yeah, he walks in, gets up to the little desk thing there that they have for him to sit at with the microphone, pulls out his notes out of his pocket that is folded like 50 times, and he's unfolding this thing in front of the microphone so you can hear it and everything. And he's taking it and he's flattening it out on the table, getting the creases out of this.
Give us an example.
He's just.
I love it. Thank you, Mr. Snider.
So, not the most professional entrance in history there.
Yeah.
But it turns out Dee Snider's really fucking smart and articulate.
Oh, I've heard him.
Shocked the fuck out of everybody else there. Tipper Gore, Al Gore's wife.
Fun little lady, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was kind of the head of this PMRC, the face of it, I'll say.
Yeah.
She had stated that in one of Twisted Sister's songs, they were talking about rape and BDSM and this and that, and just obscene shit in the song, right? But it was actually about his friend having throat surgery and being afraid to go under the knife.
Okay, that's fair enough. That is BDSM and masochism, and I mean, those doctors are fucking sick to take up that profession.
Dee Snider said, Mrs. Gore claimed that in one of my songs, Under the Blade, had lyrics encouraging sadomasochism, bondage, and rape.
I still stand by that. It's not true.
The lyrics she quoted have absolutely nothing to do with these topics. On the contrary, the words in question are about surgery and the fear it instills in people. I can say categorically that the only sadomasochism, bondage, rape in this song is in the mind of Mrs. Gore. He said this to Al Gore, who was on the panel, the congressional panel end of this thing.
Oh, man, that face.
The dude sitting next to him says about Dee Snider targeting Mrs. Gore. And he said about, I'm not targeting Al Gore's wife. I'm targeting Tipper Gore, the woman who's on this panel who's trying to censor my art. Like, it just so happens that he gets to say this shit free and clear to Al Gore's face.
That's really cool. I think that a lot.
Yeah, that was good shit. When this PMRC had what they called the Filthy 15, which was a list of the 15 most obscene songs, Twisted Sisters We're Not Gonna Take It was put on that list.
What?
Because it, how did they word it? It incited violence against authority.
But that is morally okay.
You would think so, especially being in America. where our entire country was founded on violence against authority.
Right. And the right to talk about it and glorify it, which they do every day in statues and whatnot.
Frank Zappa and John Denver also spoke at this PMRC thing for Congress.
John Denver was a peaceful guy.
Both of them, when they came out, and it was Al Gore's turn to question them, he started both of his questionings with, "I'm a huge fan of your music." So when Dee Snider gets out there, and he gets up to Al Gore, they're working their way down the line of people questioning him, right? And he gets to him, and he goes, "What, you're not going to say that you're a huge fan of my music, too?"
Aww, poor Dee.
This Filthy 15, there were 8 metal bands total on that list. So more than half of the list was metal bands.
Okay, what were they?
I didn't dig into that.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to talk about Dee Snider because he's a badass.
Dee Snider's a badass.
Yeah. I guess they originally wanted Vince Neil from Motley Crue to be the representative of the metal industry for this thing. But Dee got there instead, who's way more articulate than Vince Neil is.
I don't know anything about Vince Neil. I don't know too much about Vince Neil. I know more about Dee Snider.
At this point in time, he was pretty heavy into drugs. So, not the best representative you want in front of Congress. Whereas Dee Snider gets up there, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do drugs, married man, doesn't fuck around on the road, just had a kid a couple years ago, squeaky clean Christian, right? And he's well-spoken. And you can kind of see it when he starts talking, like, all the Congress people are like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, there's some art that I find detestable, but I can't bring myself to say that it's wrong, because it's art. As long as nobody's being hurt.
If you're not hurting or killing anybody or damaging anybody's property, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Period. Whether it's art or not. If you're not hurting anybody or damaging any property, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing.
Yes. Yes. Amen.
So after Dee Snider spoke to Congress, he had his phones tapped and his mail was being checked.
No fucking shit.
Likely as an attempt to discredit him in some way. He stated that because of him speaking in front of Congress and coming out as a Christian that doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do drugs, faithfully married, like not living the rock star life, he thinks that may have had something to do with the downfall of Twisted Sister, that they weren't the party hard rock stars that everybody thought they were.
I mean, is there actual evidence that his shit was being tapped?
That I don't know, but I think it was a Rolling Stone article I read that had mentioned that.
Except for that one article, they're pretty credible.
I would think so.
I mean, their journalism is on point. They're always, except for there was that one article about that. Other than that, it was really good. They're really good. So, yeah, I mean, that's an obvious abuse of power.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting.
After all this is said and done, there was only one Twisted Sister album that ever got a parental warning sticker on it.
What's that?
The Best of Twisted Sister, because it has a live track on it where Dee says, "You motherfuckers, let's rock."
Christians don't say motherfuckers.
Dee Snider does when he's in Dee Snider mode on stage.
Once, yeah, there are no motherfuckers in Christianity. Once you're a mother, she does not get fucked in Christianity.
That would make it kind of hard to have more than one child in a Christian family, wouldn't it?
You said hard.
Trying to fuck a mother, right? Ain't going in there noodle.
Yeah, no. Actually, I was raised Christian, and I don't think that's true.
Iced tea.
Iced tea.
Yes. You may know him from such things as Law and Order.
Law and Order. Okay.
Or maybe his rap career.
Yeah, he did that a couple of times, right?
Also had a metal band.
A fucking metal band?
Yep.
What's up with that?
Body Count.
Body Count.
Yeah. It's kind of a rap metal band. Not bad.
Like Vanilla Ice rap metal?
No. I don't know if Vanilla Ice was really rap or metal. Pop rap? Was that a thing?
You did metal.
Oh, I forgot
The metal thing.
Rob Van Winkle went metal.
Oh, yeah. It's Rob Van Winkle. But yeah, it's Vanilla Ice. Yeah, he went metal.
Yeah. I
And then
forgot
that show.
all about that. Did you ever see the one with him hanging out with the Amish people?
No, I'm not a fan.
I don't remember what the hell that was on, but I watched the entire season for some reason. It was just Vanilla Ice hanging out with Amish people.
That doesn't sound interesting to me at all.
Anyways, back on topic with Ice-T. He was the first rap album to get hit with a parental warning sticker. His debut album, Rhyme Pays, was the first rap album to get a parental warning sticker.
When was that?
That had to be very late 80s, early 90s.
Let's look that one up.
1985 was the PMRC thing. So it had to be late 80s.
87.
87?
Yeah.
I had seen a thing years ago with Ice-T, and I couldn't find it again to refresh my memory when I was reading this stuff this time. He was on like a late night show, like a Leno or Letterman or Arsenio or something like that. They were talking about the PMRC and everything, and he was talking about Al Gore, and he's like, Al Gore, you're a real cool guy, but you gotta check your bitch. And I laughed my ass off at it.
I've never seen that. That's funny.
Dimebag Darrell. There's another one that was kind of a tragic story.
Tragic.
Killed in Ohio. I don't know how we keep circling back to Ohio.
Was that Ohio?
It was Columbus.
Was it Columbus? I didn't realize that.
August 20th, 1966, he was born. December 8th, 04, he was killed in Columbus, Ohio, while playing with Damage Plan.
How old did that make him?
66, 04, 38.
So he died at my age now.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks. I don't want to die now.
Yeah, so him and 3 others were killed while they're playing a show with his new band Damage Plan. Most people are going to know Dimebag from Pantera.
Yeah.
His brother just died a year or two ago, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the drummer from Pantera.
What
the fuck was his name? Vinnie Paul Abbott.
Wasn't that a heart attack or some shit?
I don't remember what the hell killed Vinnie. Because he was with Pantera. I think he was in Damage Plan again with Dimebag. And then, Hell Yeah. He was the drummer for Hell Yeah. Dimebag's on a lot of lists of greatest guitarists ever. Rolling Stone put him at number 92 on the 100 greatest guitarists of all time. Louder put him at number 19 on the 50 greatest guitarists of all time. Gibson put him at number 5 on the top 5 metal guitarists of all time. VH1 named him the most influential guitarist of the last 25 years. He's widely renowned as one of the best guitarists, not even just best metal guitarists, but best guitarists.
Yeah. Talent shot down. What happened?
12 gauge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like
on stage, guy walks up on stage with them and fucking blasts them. Killed 3 other people with him.
Yeah. What was the circumstance? Like, who was that guy? Why did he kill him?
I think he was like a disgruntled fan that was mad that Pantera broke up or some shit. I think is what the general consensus is. I have a Wikipedia post here somewhere too.
Oh, that reminds me. Where did you get a lot of your info?
Rolling Stone magazine had quite a bit that I listed off. Wikipedia with the Dimebag thing. Yeah, a lot of that Dee Snider stuff was a Rolling Stone article that I'd read. And then I watched the entire Dee Snider in front of Congress thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
Here it is for Dimebag. December 8th, 2004, Damage Plan was performing at the Alrosa Villa nightclub in Columbus, Ohio. As the band played their first song of the setlist, Nathan Gale, a deranged 25-year-old fan, rushed onto the stage, shot Abbott multiple times with a Beretta 9mm. I always thought it was a 12 gauge. Beretta 9mm. The band's head of security, Jeffrey Mayhem Thompson, then tackled Gale, but was fatally shot in the ensuing struggle. A fan, Nathan Bray, was also murdered as he attempted to aid Abbott and Thompson, as was Aaron Hawk, an employee at the venue. who had tried to disarm Gale. 3 others were wounded before Columbus police officer James Neigermeyer? Wasn't that the dude from Animal House? Wasn't there a Neigermeyer in Animal House?
I don't know.
God, I haven't seen Animal House in forever.
Yeah.
James Neigermeyer entered the club, shot Gale once in the head with a Remington Model 870. Okay, that's where the 12 gauge
That's
came
where
from.
it is, yeah.
Abbott was pronounced dead at the scene, age 38. Thousands of fans attended his public memorial. The guest list included stars such as Eddie Van Halen, Zakk Wylde, Corey Taylor. Have you seen Corey Taylor's new mask?
No.
It's fucking hideous.
No.
It looks like he has a grungy condom stretched across his face.
Gross.
It's bad. Corey Taylor, Jerry Cantrell, Dino Cazares. Abbott was buried alongside his mother, Carolyn, at the Moore Memorial Garden Cemetery in Arlington, Texas. Gene Simmons donated a Kiss casket for the burial, and Eddie Van Halen donated his original black and yellow striped 1979 Charvel Bumblebee guitar, which was featured on the back of the cover of Van Halen 2. A few weeks prior to his death, Abbott had met with Van Halen and asked him for a replica of the Bumblebee. Van Halen later said at the funeral, "Dimebag was an original, and he only deserves the original."
Tragic. That's sad. Well, yeah. I guess it's more valuable now. It was one thing.
Well, it's kind of in the dirt next to a dead guy, so.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, that kind of brings me to my final instance of tragic metal. It's more rock metal. The Altamont Speedway Free Festival. I also want to state that I got my shit from Wikipedia from a site called Rational Wiki.
What the fuck is Rational Wiki?
It's where I got the sociological description of the Satanic Panic.
I've never even heard of it before.
And then something on YouTube. Yeah. But the Altamont Speedway Free Festival. It was a free counterculture rock concert on Saturday, December 6th, 1969, at the Altamont Speedway in Northern California. The event was known for considerable violence. There was a stabbing death of a man named Meredith Hunter. 2 were killed in a hit and run.
A man named Meredith?
There was a man named Meredith Hunter.
That's some boy named Sushi right there. Circled back to Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash to town. This man was also a black man.
Oh.
Black man named Meredith.
A black man named Meredith.
Yeah.
Was it a metal show or was it just a festival?
It was a rock festival.
Okay.
Yeah. Counterculture festival.
I was at Ozfest in 2004. Little side story here.
Yeah.
And my dad's best friend's a black guy. Plays in a band with my dad. He's a guitarist, right? He met us there because Judas Priest and Black Sabbath were headlining that one. So he came later in the day to watch the headliners, right?
Okay.
I go up the hill at Blossom Music Center. I'm sure you've seen shows there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I go up the hill to the vendors to get sodas or whatever. And I'm standing at the top of the hill trying to figure out where the hell my buddy and my dad's buddy are at. And it dawns on me to look for the black guy, because it's Ozfest. Literally the first black guy I saw was him.
Oh, damn.
It worked.
Square one for the black guy. Immediately identifiable. You want to be that guy.
Easy to find in a crowd.
In that crowd.
Yeah, in that crowd.
There was also an LSD-induced drowning in an irrigation canal. And there were scores of injuries, stolen and abandoned cars, and extensive property damage. The bands that were playing there were Santana, the Flying Burrito Brothers, whom I've never heard of.
I've never heard of them either.
The Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, and the Rolling Stones. The Grateful Dead were going to be there, but they canceled shortly before.
That'd be a hell of a show.
That would be.
Santana, the Stones, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young.
Flying Burrito Brothers.
Whoever the fuck they are.
Burrito Brothers! Yeah! They had that song about that goat and that guy, and they did that thing in the valley of that one place.
Fun fact, they invented what is now called the T-shirt cannon
to launch Burrito Brothers?
Burritos into the crowd during the shows.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Awesome. Flying Burrito Brothers.
Nothing but facts on this show.
Yeah. You come here for accuracy. 300,000 attendees were there. They ended up hiring the Hells Angels for $500 worth of beer. So that's a little contested. Some people say they did. Some people say they didn't. There's evidence both ways, but basically everybody agrees that for $500 of beer, they would stand at the edge of the stage and make sure that there were no murders and no rapes. That was their job, and they all agreed. So, if you know anything about Hell's Angels, you know anything about Hell's Angels?
I shot wedding photography for a Hell's Angels wedding one time, actually. So I know a little bit.
They are notoriously scary people.
It was blatantly obvious at that wedding who was there for the groom and who was there for the bride.
I'm kind of a formidable guy myself, and I just don't want any piece of that. Like, fuck a bunch of that shit.
All the ones that I've met have been very nice. I'll leave it at that. Like, I haven't met a mean Hell's Angel.
You know what?
I've only met a handful of them, but all of them were cordial. I
did get one of my tattoos at a place that there seemed to be a large collection of guys with 1%er patches. It was fine. I walked in, got a great tattoo, walked out.
Yeah, I hung out with a lot of 81 support years ago, so I got to know some of those guys.
I don't know what that is.
81 is HA, Hell's Angels.
Oh.
Support are like people who are just friends with them, hang out with them, go on rides with them, but aren't members.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. Familiars, as it were.
Yeah.
But still, they are known for violence, and they've proven themselves time and time again that they're violent people. They can be violent people.
They do a lot of good, but they've done a lot of bad too.
Yeah, they're known more for the bad. I'm not sure about their good, but I'm not saying they did. But anyway, they weren't there for policing, and everybody kind of agrees that they weren't there for policing. They were there to prevent murders and rapes for beer and stand at the edge of the stage. So, but the crowd and the Hells Angels, it was just kind of, they were antagonizing each other until one of the Angels' bikes were toppled over, and then the Angels became more aggressive with both the crowd and the performers.
Was this before or after Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Way before. Pee-wee's Big Adventure was the 80s. This is 69.
Okay, I must have spaced when you said this, the year.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if Pee-wee's Big Adventure got that idea from that. When he kicks over the bikes.
Oh, I saw that once a long time ago. That's like one of the only things I remember.
Huh.
I don't know.
To this day, that's one of my favorite movie soundtracks. Danny Elfman's the shit.
He's done some good shit.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that soundtrack.
Hot News 2, bringing us back to the last episode.
What?
What the fuck is Jenna Elfman?
Oh, yeah. She is a looker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's like Danny Elfman's niece or some shit, I think.
I wouldn't kick her out of my tea party.
No.
If you know what I mean.
No. Throwback to the last episode.
Keanu Reeves. Hashtag Keanu Reeves Golden Spine.
Skinny dipping with Kia.
Meredith Hunter, 18-year-old man, was killed during the performance of Under My Thumb. Under my thumb. Anyway, he was approached. He approached the stage and was violently driven off by the members of the Angels. He returned with a revolver, drew it, and he was beaten and stabbed to death. So he kind of had it coming.
I'm not saying he had it coming, but he kind
had
of had it coming.
He totally had it coming. There's no reason to draw a revolver anywhere in a crowd, in a concert. Don't fucking draw a revolver in a fucking concert.
That's probably a good rule to live by.
Yeah.
No guns at concerts.
Yeah. I mean, or you get stabbed and beaten.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
It's kind of amazing they didn't shoot him back.
I don't think they had guns, because you don't bring fucking guns to concerts.
Yeah.
I do bring my knife everywhere. I don't bring it on planes. They don't let you. I've had knives confiscated. I've had knives not confiscated, too.
Yep. I've gone both ways with that one, too.
Yeah.
I used to travel I did construction shit for a little while, and I kept a multi-tool on my belt, and got to my destination, start digging through my check bag looking for my damn multi-tool, and I'm like, fuck, I left it in the last city I was in, right? And then it dawns on me that it's still on my belt. I walked straight through security with a multi-tool on my belt, and nobody fucking did shit. I I'd have been so mad if they made me throw that thing away too.
I've thrown away knives.
I've thrown away 2 knives.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much. But I have walked through with a knife just in my pocket accidentally. Like, I never mean to bring a knife. I always mean to put it away, but...
I literally went straight from one job site to the airport to the next job site. And just didn't even think about taking the multi-tool off my belt.
Thank God for the TSA.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got like a solid 3.5-inch blade on it, too.
Yeah.
And pliers and whatever. Like,
if them doing their job, which is what I want them to do, they should have made you throw it away.
Except they don't when they're tested. They have like a 95% fail rate when they're tested.
I know. Well, that was that one test. I don't know if they tightened up or if they're doing any better. Maybe they are.
They can't do much worse.
Last thing I want to say about this concert is that the Stones were unaware that they were aware that there was a scuffle, but they were unaware that anybody was hurt in it. Jagger himself said that he felt awful. I mean, just awful. This is a quote. You feel a responsibility. You feel it could have all been so silly and wrong. But I didn't think of these things that you guys thought of. You and the press, this great loss of innocence, the cathartic end of the era. I didn't think of any of that. That particular burden didn't weigh on my mind. It was more how awful it was to have had this experience and how awful it was to have, how it was for someone to get killed. I butchered that a little bit, but that's what he said.
So the Stones were headlining that night, I imagine, right?
Yeah, the Stones were headlining. It was supposed to be the Dead. No, I mean, it was a pretty star-studded, event. I mean, who the fuck really...
I mean, I guess it really makes sense that the Stones would go on last.
True, but who can really follow the Flying Burrito Brothers?
With their flying burritos.
They have that song about the spaceship that takes burritos that turns you into a burrito and takes you to space so you can be eaten by the aliens. Do you remember that one? It has the dog that pets itself.
Is that on the Black Album?
No, it's the purple gray one.
Okay.
Alien. Flying Burrito Brothers.
Nothing but facts.
We all know this.
You want to talk about some smart or overly educated rock stars?
Yeah, sure.
Dexter Holland from The Offspring.
Oh, yep,
Okay. Bachelor's in Biology.
Mm-hmm.
Master's in Molecular Biology from USC.
Yeah.
Why the fuck does a rock star need a bachelor's, let alone a master's in anything?
So, I don't know. I mean, you don't.
Tom Schultz from Boston. Master's in Mechanical Engineering from MIT.
No shit.
Yeah. Tom Morello, Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Audioslave.
Yeah.
Graduated high school with honors. Bachelor's in Social Studies from Harvard.
I'm going to post a video of him doing Game of Thrones with a bunch of other rock stars, too.
I thought we were done with Game of Thrones.
You mentioned Tom Morello, and it's totally relevant, so it's going up.
Greg Gaffin from Bad Religion.
Oh, I remember them, yeah.
PhD in zoology from Cornell.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. Brian May from Queen. Graduated with honors. Went back later in life to get a PhD in astrophysics in 2007.
Yeah, that's what I went to school for.
Astrophysics?
Yeah. That's I didn't get a PhD. No, I'm nowhere near that smart. But that is what I went to school for, and I did hear him talk on NPR.
After 2007 when he got his PhD? Do you know?
Did I go to school after that?
No. When you heard him talking on NPR.
Oh, yeah, it was after.
Okay. Was that what he was talking about? Was going back to school or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was, wait, don't tell me. They were joking about it. It's
I don't listen to radio, let alone NPR.
Okay. Well, it's a podcast now, so you can listen to
it. Okay. Yeah. Radio and TV are dead to me. We have streaming shit now.
Oh, you know what? Smart. I know, or I used to know. Actually, no. I knew him. He didn't know me. Rock star. So Mark Absek, Wild Cherry.
Okay.
Play That Funky Music.
Yep.
The keyboardist.
Have you heard the mashup of Play That Funky Music with Rammstein?
No.
It's amazing. I'll play it for you after this.
All right. I want to hear it. But Mark Absek, the keyboardist from that, I used to work at a law firm. I worked in the mailroom of a law firm. I didn't do anything more spectacular than that. But he was a lawyer there. He was an entertainment lawyer.
Who was this?
Mark Absek. The the keyboardist of Wild Cherry.
Okay. My dad's best friend, the guitarist in his band, black dude from Ozfest that we were talking about a minute ago.
Yeah.
He grew up in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Worked at a music store. Sold Bon Jovi the voice changey thing, that row soundy thing, the tube that goes in your mouth. Yeah, he sold that to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I could live without Bon Jovi, but that's kind of cool.
It's a cool story.
Yeah. No offense, Bon Jovi and Bon Jovi lovers, but I don't need it.
Damn, that circles back to last episode too.
Johnny Cash.
Because Keanu Reeves' band, Dog Star, I think it was, opened for Bon Jovi.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Dog Star.
I'm pretty sure that was the name of their band.
You know what the Dog Star is?
The butthole? Like a chocolate starfish? That's what I was thinking.
No, it's actually...
I have a Rottweiler who has a nub, and I can see her asshole constantly.
No. It's the Dog Star is a star in the constellation Canopus.
Nope, I went
Oh, wait.
Limp Bizkit style on that.
I'm fucking stupid. It's double. I know this off the top of my head. It doubles the brightness of Canopus. It's in Canis Major.
Okay.
Dog Star because it's Canis.
I want to double check, make sure I'm even saying the right fucking band. Yep, Dog Star.
Nice. You have your historical notes. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, you.
I keep shit in case I want to reference it again. Like that.
Actually, I have all my shit too. It's not as organized as that. But you're so much better at your research than I am.
Mm-hmm. I'm a very organized, disorganized person. I have organized messes.
You don't seem disorganized at all.
Oh, you haven't been to my place recently.
Not recently.
I moved into my place like 6 months ago. I still have boxes in my living room of shit that I just don't use.
But it's not disorganized, though.
They're just stacked up in the corner.
Yeah. But
It looks like hell.
it's organized, though. I mean, yeah, you look a little like order, but it's organized mess.
It's a pile of shit that, for some reason, I brought with me but haven't had a need for in 6 months and should probably just throw away.
If it doesn't cause you to have joy, they say you're supposed to put it away. I say, fuck that shit. Because fuck that TV show. It's that one TV show for Netflix. I don't know. The one that has a name. I guess not fuck that shit. If you want to throw it away, fucking throw it away. You know,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a show on Netflix about cleaning out your space, and if it doesn't inspire joy, and if an object doesn't inspire joy in you, you should throw it away.
I have
That's all I know.
a TV, a PlayStation, a dog, and some weed. That's like the joy in my life.
Yeah. I have work-related material that I can't throw away that does not inspire joy. It's like bad advice.
Yeah, really, if I wanted to really buckle down, I could get rid of like 90% of my shit and still be comfortable.
To be honest, most of my shit is transportable.
Yeah.
So I really don't. I have some stuff in a bunch of different places, but I don't know. Yeah.
We are way the fuck off topic.
Yeah, we are.
We should probably wrap this. People don't give a fuck that I got shit sitting in the corner of my living room.
Where can you find us?
We're in Loveland, Colorado right now.
We are in Loveland, Colorado. If you came to Loveland, Colorado, you will find us.
If you came to Loveland, Colorado 2 weeks ago, you would find us.
Yes. Yes. Anyway.
Yeah. No, we're at highermindspodcast.com.
Highermindspodcast.com.
Highermindspodcast@gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Facebook.
Or on Facebook.
Twitter.
Higher Minds Podcast. Twitter. Higher Minds Podcast 2.
Probably.
Yeah. Or Higher Minds 2. It's Higher Minds 2 on Twitter.
I think so.
Instagram is Higher Minds Podcast.
SoundCloud.
We're on SoundCloud.
YouTube.
YouTube. You can listen to us in both places.
Yeah. If you watch us on YouTube, you get to see a cool little Smokey graphic. That takes me way too long to do every week.
Oh. But it's cool shit. It's fun to watch.
It is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's better than just a plain picture.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, we have a bunch of I have some followers on Facebook. We have a bunch of followers on Instagram. We had a boost in listenership. Get a hold of us and I don't know, say something. We'll talk about it.
Do we want to talk about the special guest we have coming up?
Why don't we? That's a good idea. We're interviewing him.
Don't say a name.
No.
We're working on and setting up an interview with a 2020 presidential candidate.
We are. He is a 2020 presidential candidate. I've given it away that it's male.
Mm-hmm.
It's a male.
I'm listening to an episode of Rogan right now with another 2020 presidential candidate, Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
I actually kind of like her. I like a lot of the shit. Some of it, I'm like, you're fucking out of your mind. But a lot of the shit she's saying, I absolutely agree with.
There are some good ideas going out.
Yeah.
Around. And, I mean, good. Honestly, there's some good libertarian ideas.
Honestly, as of right now, I haven't spoken to the guy that we're trying to set up an interview with in a couple years. I met him once years ago.
Well, we both communicated with him, and he seems totally on board and eager to talk to us.
Yeah, I met the guy in person a couple years back at a book signing. So,
yeah.
But yeah, other than him, that Tulsi Gabbard is that's my favorite so far.
Nice. I like Buttigieg.
Who?
Greg Buttigieg, Mayor Pete.
Who?
Yeah. Trump said he looks like Alfred E. Newman, and so actually, I hashtagged him on one of the pictures.
Throwback to like 2 or 3 episodes ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, highermindspodcast.com.
Highermindspodcast.com.
Deuces, everybody.
Deuces. Higher Minds Podcast, the podcast for the intellectual, unsophisticated stoner. This show is for consenting adults. The views expressed are solely those of Scott, Papa Darby, and your mom.